Hi, how's it going?
It's everything is going good. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Thanks for
Uh,
accepting my invitation and accepting to talk with me.
Thank you for asking.
So I thought to introduce you to my audience. So
Okay,
can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
no worries. First thing just to say is I have a hearing problem, so if I have to ask you to repeat yourself a few times, it's because I'm slightly deaf. So,
No problem. No problem.
so sorry about that. Just to say that at the beginning. I'm an author, I suppose. I'm self-published. My writing name is Arthur Hoffen. I've written three novels and a collection of short plays and things. I'm currently working on something else at the moment. It's a pen name. It's not my real name. I always feel a bit weird trying to introduce myself with a fake name, but I think it's important just because I think writing lets people see into your psyche in a way that other people don't get to see. So I always think try and keep a bit of a distance that way. But yeah, that's who I am. I've got three novels on Amazon, which which I'm very pleased with.
Okay. So I saw your profile. You are a traveler and you are a blogger and you try in your blog you write about literature and music.
Yes, yeah, two of my big loves. I love books. I just any book really. So it's just an opportunity to share some of the books that I really love. That's going really well. I started doing one on music over the summer. That's currently I'm not updating it as much as I'd like to at the moment because I'm busy with other things, but I will get round to updating that as well. Again, I've got many CDs and records and things like that. So yeah, music is also a big love.
So writing is your full-time job or
I wish. No, unfortunately, not at the moment. I work in an office doing administration, not very interesting spreadsheets and yeah, Word documents and databases. Nothing too interesting on that. But yes, if I could get my money and full time work by writing, that would be the ideal.
administration? Can you tell me more about it?
It's not much more really to tell. I'm afraid it's not very interesting. Just I mean another sad thing about me, I love spreadsheets, so it suits me quite well. I can sit and play with an Excel spreadsheet for hours on end. So in that respect, it suits me, but it doesn't interest anyone else, I don't think.
Okay. So you said you published three novels. Can you tell me more about it?
Yes, so I suppose my latest one, which I'm very pleased with, is called Indulgence. And it's about a character who's suffering from dealing with the loss of his wife. So he's still trying to deal with that, but finding it very difficult. And his world around him is changing, and he can't cope with it. So yeah, that's basically the start of it. But as the book goes on, something very strange is happening to the laws of physics as well, and he finds himself trying to work out what's happening there too. So it's I don't know how to categorize it. It's a bit weird, really, but I'm quite happy with it. I've done a lot of research. I like science and geography. He's a geography fan, so there's a lot of him and his passion for geography and travelling in there, which has come from me.
Okay, so it is about a person who lost his wife and you're explaining his mind state and mindset.
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it. It's written in the first person. I'd never written anything in the first person before, and I wanted to do that. So it's probably that's a very good way of doing it. It's his mind state. The book is his entire state of mind as he's dealing with the process, and he recalls his entire relationship with her from first meeting her to right up to after she dies and the aftermath of all that. But it's not in chronological order. It's in the order that he's trying to process this information. So it's it's a little bit of everything. So you've got to try and follow the plot as it goes along, and that enabled me to create more of a mystery as to what is exactly going on in this world, because it's completely out. It's fragmented, which is his way of thinking at the moment.
How many years they are connected?
Sorry,
How many years they was with each other in your book?
how many years were they married, or
No.
Right.
How many years your character was with his wife?
That's actually a difficult one to answer, because I'm very loose on times in the book, and there's a very specific reason for that. You don't get any specific, this happened over this period of time, and that's because something strange is happening to the laws of physics. So in his state of mind, he's known her for years and years and years. They've been married probably about 10 years, and obviously he was going out with her or whatever beforehand. So I'd say about them, but you can't be exact on that, just because it would mess up the plot if I if I did give you an answer to that.
Okay.
And I would give away spoilers.
Is this a real story or a fictional story?
It's completely fictional, but it is. I mean, I'm sure one of the things I wanted to try and do with it was try and also pin down how. I love the idea that within our own heads is our world, and no one else ever really sees into that. So what makes sense to us and I love the expression you used, mindset. What makes sense to us and our mindset, someone else is completely different, and they'll never quite get what's going on in here in our head, because that's personal to us. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to explain what's going on in here to someone who can never really fully understand it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm kind of fascinated with that kind of view. He's knowingly writing the book. So he's saying, look, I'm writing this book because I need to get this out of my head. I need to put this down on paper. So that's the whole reason for the book to exist. But it's not true.
So in the book, he himself is narrating his story.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think at the beginning he actually says, I'll make a deal with you as a reader. I don't know who you are as a reader, but you're going to need to be my counsellor or my therapist for a while, because I need to spiel all this stuff out. So yeah, he's very much aware of what he's doing.
So how much time you spent on this book to write?
So I started it in the first draft mid-December last year. And unfortunately, when I do start writing, it just consumes me. So until that first draft is out of my head and recorded in a Word document, it's just going round and round in there, and I need to get it out of me. So I finished the first draft, I think it was early April. I think I'd got the first draft done. And then once it's done, then you could redraft it, edit, process, redraft, edit, process. That's a horrible thing you have to go through, but you do. And it was finally out, I think, in July. I got it out. So, yeah, that was the process of it.
So what is the name of this book?
In Doldrum. I haven't got a copy with me, actually, but it's available on my Twitter. Doldrum, as in going in the doldrums, with in at the beginning, in Doldrum.
Okay, so what about the remaining two books?
So the other two books are, I suppose the first one is called Humanity. I wrote it in my late teens, so a long time ago, and I've been redrafting it over and over until I finally decided, you know what, just do something with it. So I put it all together in a process that I was happy for other people to look at it and read it. I did that a couple of years ago. And that is about, I like science fiction as well. I'm a big Doctor Who fan. So it's about, in a fictional village in England, it's a very English book, this small town, this group of people get together to form a science fiction fan club at a shop called Humanity. But when they get together, they realise that they can manipulate the town in ways that they never thought possible. So they start taking advantage of this power. just subtly manipulating the town to their own ends, but the power goes to the head and it goes too far, and suddenly these people are just it takes the worst of all of them out of them, and they start doing things that they never thought that they would do because they're in bad company, and bad company together creates bad situations.
Okay.
So again, it's a bit psychoanalytical, I'm afraid.
Okay. So is that published?
Yes, that's on my website. That's on Amazon as well. Yes, that's published. That's available to buy in paperback and download.
And the third book?
And the third book is called Framed of Rathgar. I lived in Dublin for many, many years. I'm now back in England, but Dublin is kind of my home, as it were, because I lived there for so long. And I lived in a place called Rathgar, which is one of the inner suburbs. It's kind of it's described as leafy, and it's where all the students are. It's big old Georgian houses and Victorian houses converted into studio flats or one-bedroom apartments, which are now beginning to be bought back and gentrified, I think the expression is. But it's about three lads living in a studio in Rathgar, which is, from personal experience, I've done that. And it's about the point in your life where you realise you've got to start growing up. You can't just carrying on living the life of a young person anymore. They're all in their sort of 30s. And they realise that they've got to start taking control of their lives. But actually, it's quite hard to take control of your life when everything is against you. So it's them battling against the odds, trying to take control of their lives. And at the same time, they accidentally start a gang war.
Okay.
So
what people think after reading this book?
So I've generally people who know Dublin like it. I've got some good things from people who have been in Dublin. They say they like it. It's good. It's quite funny. I've written it in the Dublin vernacular, so they use expressions as people speak in inner city Dublin. Although the three main characters, one of them's from West Island, one of them is English, one of them Polish, but all the other characters around them are Irish in Dublin. And I use Irish expressions, and I've had people complain to me because they're saying it doesn't make sense to them. And it's like, no, it's not a grammatical error, it's not a spelling error, that's how they speak in Dublin. So I've had to explain that on my Amazon site, that it's written, some of it is written in the way that Dublin people speak, which I love and I've picked up. Sometimes I find myself using these expressions.
So
Carry on.
Yeah, go on.
No, so that's all I was going to say.
So 3 books are 3 different genres.
They probably are, but they're all, if you put them together, I think you can see my style of writing in them. They're all about, at the end of the day, trying to survive as a human being in a difficult world when everything's against you. Which I don't know why that's my default set of writing, but it's what I find interesting. I like looking at people surviving. I like looking at people who battle against the odds and achieve what they're trying to do. And I think that makes interesting characters, and I think that makes interesting stories. And I think that's fundamentally what's at the heart of all 3 of them.
So you're a traveler too?
Yes, I love travel. Absolutely love travel. I've been pretty much all over the planet, and that's one of the things that's driving me mad about this lockdown at the moment and this pandemic. I can't get out and travel. But yeah.
So administration and writing, why 2 different things in your life?
Because I've got to pay the bills somehow. And if I can't get money out of writing, then yeah, whoever hires me to play with their spreadsheets, then that's fine. It pays the bills. It works. But if I could get to be a professional writer, that would be the ideal. I am liking the freedom of self-publishing.
Okay.
because what I feel I have tried, to be honest, I haven't tried very hard, but I have tried to get an agent and go down the professional route. But I kind of just have this fear that everyone else is going to force their ideas onto me. And while I think you need to be disciplined and you need to not just do what you want, you've got to do what's right for the book. I just don't like the idea of someone coming at me and saying you have to do this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, I write because that's what I love doing. So I hope I'm disciplined enough. I hope I'm skilled enough at being able to see the difference and work it out for myself without someone else trying to force their ideas onto me.
So, what is your present work? On
My
which
present,
books you are
I'm just
working?
going to charge the computer. Sorry, bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
I can see the battery going down. There you go. My present work is, that's beginning to consume me. I'm about 2/3 of the way through the first draft. I wanted to do something a little bit lighter because Indulgence is quite heavy. I think there's quite a lot of emotion, there's quite a lot of stuff going on in there. So I wanted to do something a bit more action, adventure, lighter, a bit more like Humanity. So, I'm kind of fascinated by the London Underground. I love geography. I love maps. So, I'm writing something based around the London Underground at the moment, which I'm having great fun with. If this pandemic wasn't on, I would be down on the tube all day, every week, the weekends, just researching, but I can't at the moment. But yeah, I'm having great fun with that. It's turning out to be quite long. I'm doing it in 3 parts. So I've just finished the second section of it, which will be a trilogy. So I've just finished the second book, and I'll give it a couple of days and I'll start on the third one. And I hope to have that finished end of January, and I can start drafting and editing, and hopefully I'll be able to get them out by the spring if I'm disciplined enough, if I've got the time. But it's quite different from what I've done before, but I'm enjoying it.
Okay. You're from?
Me, I'm from Buckinghamshire in England, just north of London. From Milton Keynes. I don't know if anyone knows it. It's a city I actually quite like a lot. I've recently just moved, so I've moved to the next county, Bedfordshire. So I was in there. I lived in Dublin for a while. I've lived in various places, but at the moment I'm in Bedfordshire, just north of London, which is good.
So at the end, do you want to say anything to the world who watches this video?
First of all, thank you for making it this far at the end of listening to me ramble on. That's good. Appreciate that. If you want to buy my books, I'd be delighted. It's on my Amazon page on my website, or you can get it from Twitter. But if people want to write, then just do it. I think a lot of people say, "Oh, I'd love to write. I'd love to do this. I'd love to do the other." I think you've just got to do it. And I think, especially now, I don't know. You're in India. Is that correct? Yeah.
Correct.
I don't know how things are there, but we've got more time to do things. I think now's the time to really look at these skills or these projects or these things and just think, do you know what, rather than just thinking, I wish, to just do it and just get on with it, whether it's writing, whether it's learning an instrument or something. Yeah, I think just take advantage of it and yeah.
So, at last, have you seen my previous videos on YouTube?
Yes, I've watched a couple of them. I think it was only to be honest, found out about you after you sent me a message. So that was a few days ago. So I've watched a few of them, and yeah, you're listening to other authors talk about their books, and you think, oh, that's such a good idea. Well, I should do that. Or that's yeah. I'm picking up some good tips actually. So I'm pleased I found the channel. I'm pleased with that.
So, thank you for giving your valuable time and telling about your books and explaining about your books and giving answers to my questions.
Thank you very much for giving me your time to let me ramble on, to let me talk about it. I appreciate it very much. How's everything in India? Is everyone all right or?
Yeah, the COVID is still dominating and telling that I'm still alive. So
Yeah.
so the number is still increasing. So I think it takes time for everything to become normal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while, but
How is
very
there
good.
in England, in your place?
Um, well, we're under lockdown at the moment. That ends in about a week. So, to be honest, I'm not leaving the flat other than when I have to for sort of work and essential things. So yeah, to be honest, I don't really know what's going on outside. I'm in my house and I'm quite happy here. I'm a bit of a hermit at heart, so that suits me sometimes.
So you're working
But
from home.
no, I'm not, unfortunately. But other than that, I'm locking myself in. Where the town where I am, we had a rise which was quite worrying, but that seems to be coming down now. So I think we're over the worst of this, which is good. A couple of my friends had it quite badly, but they're recovering, I'm pleased to see. So hopefully things are improving for everybody here.
So your profession is administrator.
Yes.
In administrator in?
What do you mean?
I mean, in which field?
In which field? So at the moment, I'm not. My background is facilities. That's
Okay.
really where I am. I like facilities, just organising, running things. At the moment, I've just moved across because I've just moved actually because as I said, so I've just at the moment changed jobs to something local. So I've just got something a bit local, which is shuffling paper. That's why I'm not particularly interested in talking about it, to be honest, because it's just a temporary thing until I can get something that I am a bit more interested in facilities.
So thanks again for giving your valuable time and telling about yourself. Can I put this video on my YouTube and on internet on social media with your permission?
Absolutely, yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate you doing it as well.
Yeah, keep going, keep doing what you love and do what makes you feel happy.
Thank you very much, and all the best with your projects as well.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.